This video is sponsored by my favorite website creator, Squarespace, the best place to go when you want to get a domain or create a gorgeous website or an online store. Oh dear, you lovely people. I feel like so much has been going on lately that I want to talk to you about and just sit down and have a chat, you know? So work stuff, burnout, drama, money, David, happy and sad moments. What has been going on really? Because since we're very rarely doing the podcast at the moment, I get so many DMs about all this. So I thought, let's just talk about it all in a video instead. So where should we start? Maybe should we just get straight into it? That horrible little word, burnout. Because yes, I kind of have done it again. Do you remember back in Berlin in 2018, I was going through a really hard time with this, feeling creatively and socially burnt out. And moving to London in early 2019, David was like, that's it, from now on, you're only working part-time, 50%, until that you've rested up and become well again. And I did. And because of it, 2019 was the best year of my life so far. I really just enjoyed myself and got back to being myself after being so horribly exhausted and stressed out all the time. And I thought that, never again. I'm never again pushing myself to that limit. That being said, what it turned out is that renovating a 100-year-old flat while also publishing your debut novel while also working as an influencer full-time is not good for the little old brain. So here I am, a year after renovations first started, utterly exhausted again. I feel 2023 was a cement mixer that I just kind of threw myself into and tumbled around in for a year. And now out on the other side, I'm out here all disoriented and covered in muck. Don't get me wrong, 2023 was the best year of my life, but it was also the worst year of my life. The most dramatic year, let's leave it at that. And now I want your advice and intelligent guidance for a moment here. Because the thing is, I can't take another 2019, working 50% until my brain is back to rested. And the reason is that 2019, I was an influencer. 2024, I'm an influencer and a novelist. And the thing is I can't choose. I love my work, both of them. And I get to have so many lovely experiences and meet so many charming people because of my work. So what I'm trying to say is how do you slow down and rest up when you really don't want to? I'm having too much fun and my work is so exciting to do. I think when we talk about burnout or, being stressed or overworked or anxious, we usually talk about, the toxic workplaces or the work that we're not enjoying doing. But this is another sign of burnout, working too much and exhausting yourself simply because you want to. It's a pickle for sure. And I mean, I will try to slow down because I know it's not healthy to work until your brain starts to cook and you get decision fatigue and headaches and your memory starts getting quite bad and you just always feel you're not having enough energy for the stuff outside of work. Has anyone else been through this? Please, I know how smart and kind you lot are, so do give me your best advice for, a healthy work-life balance. Because me, I sure have not found it out yet. My fear is to keep working so much until I push too hard and then I can't work at all. That being said, Christmas was great. We took a few weeks completely off and just did a lot of reading and eating and walking around a wintry London with David, drinking mulled wine and window shopping. It was incredible and so romantic, just like London always is in winter. And, actually all the other times of the year too, really. Speaking of work, here's a little update. David and I have booked quite a few clients for throughout the whole next year already. So I'm pleased to say that the channel is continuing to be very healthy and happy for us. Can you believe it? Another year of just hanging out with you, talking about this and that. I'm just so pleased. But do tell me, what kind of videos do you want us to make for this year? All requests are welcome and appreciated. Another very scary work update. Maybe you saw in autumn that I sent the first draft of my second novel to my agent Peter. Since then, I've been editing that draft with his note in mind. And my loves, I just before going on Christmas break sent the next version to him. And if he is pleased, it's time to try and sell it to a publisher. Because there's like one terrifying thing about being a novelist that I think most people don't know. People tend to think that like the hard part is getting a book deal in the first place, but once you do, you will just like stay a novelist forever and just like keep publishing books as fast as you can write them. That's not like completely true, because you know, this is an industry and publishers, they do need to make money. So if a novelist isn't selling as much as they hoped when they initially signed them, or if the like novelist's next novel isn't like in the right genre or doesn't have like a strong enough concept, your publisher might very well like turn down your next book. And then you're in that like terrifying position of having to try and find another publisher. And if you don't, well, it's like back to the drawing board. The sad truth is that like a lot of published authors gets dropped and then perhaps never get to publish a book again. And this is what we're all afraid of. Me too, definitely. And like my publisher says that they're really pleased with how everything's going with the K-Days. And you know, we're also like curious and excited to see how The Little Rascal will do when it comes out in paperback this summer. But still, like, I don't want to take anything for granted. So guys, will you please keep your fingers very tightly crossed for me that my second novel will get published, because like I've honestly been really quite confident about it this whole time, like writing it and revising it. But now when we're getting down to the wire, I really am quite nervous what will happen. Like excited too, but yes, definitely a cute little nervous wreck. So I'll keep you posted for sure, but please, fingers crossed. Hey, can I share something that's been on my mind since renovating last spring? Something that I find like so difficult and stressful. So basically, Dave and I are used to existing in quite like an intimate bubble. We work together full time and we usually have like 1 or 2 video editors and a manager and my literary agent, and that's it, like quite a small team. Lately though, this has changed radically, because for the last year, we've been both like working with all the lovely people over at my publisher Hodder, but also with all the different companies you work with during a renovation. And oh man, this has been a true and intense lifestyle change for me. It's just a bit frantic for me, going from like dealing with only 4 work partners to like heaps and heaps of people. But honestly though, everyone at my publishers have just been so lovely to work with. They're like beautiful people, all of them, and I truly, genuinely feel like they have my best interest and like the best interest of my novel at heart. So it's a very human and like non-capitalistic industry to be a part of. So it's very refreshing. On the other hand, during renovations, things have not gone as smoothly. We really did like our due diligence when researching which companies to hire, but still, I'm sad to say it didn't always go very smoothly. It's like, there's nothing David and I hate more than working with people and there is like this tension because you just feel that someone doesn't have your best interest at heart. It just like ruins our whole mojo. I know that some people sort of like thrive in conflict and just really likes drama, but no, like we're so not those people. We're the opposite, so mild. And whenever there is like the slightest tension or disagreement, we will just like feel so really off and horrible. We can't do it. So renovations, it's expensive, it's stressful, a lot of things can go wrong, and that's all fine. It's the dealing with companies when the relationship goes a bit fraught. That's what I can't deal with. I'm so sensitive to tension, it's ridiculous. My skin is so not tough at all. Can any of you relate? I'm sure I'm not the only one. You know, the renovation cost a lot, no surprise there. And the year before that, we bought the flat, which really cost a lot of money too, with like the deposit and stamp duty and legal fees and all of that. So we had to use all of our money to sort this place out. And now we have, like, we're more or less completely done. So finally, we have stopped leaking money left and right and can hopefully start saving up money again now that we don't have to, you know, spend thousands on off-white wall paint and floorboards and architraves, you know. That being said, times are tough, aren't they? I feel like everything has doubled in cost. And I think in like May, because the interest rate has gone up so much lately, our monthly mortgage rate will increase with like seriously so much. So how are you guys feeling this year with money? Are you feeling the effects of the cost of living crisis? I wouldn't say that we are like massively worried, but we will definitely be more careful with money this year, especially since like we drained our savings to renovate, so we don't have as much to like lean back on as safety. But I have to say, like, we're quite like easygoing anyway, so being on a budget isn't too hard for us. Like seriously, we spend money on our mortgage, on food, on good wine, and on good tea, and David buys a secondhand Blu-ray once in a while. Like, we're not like very hard to please, to be honest. And also, we are like two lucky Swedes because we have you guys. I mean, in actuality, every time you click one of our videos, you're paying off a little bit of our mortgage. Isn't that just so strange to think about? Like, you paid for this. You're the reason we have this calming and lovely home. So thank you doesn't really cut it, does it? But still, thank you, heartfelt gratitude, etc. You're like our favorite people on the planet. Speaking of David and money and renovations and work stress, can I just say that I don't believe in heroes and villains, but David does come pretty damn close to a modern day hero. This last year, he's been just like my tireless champion. You know, he deals with everything. He deals with our clients, with the inbox, with our finances and, you know, insurance companies and the dishwasher and the laundry. And this last year, he was totally in charge of renovations. That man doesn't stop. He's like my shield to the rest of the world. And I'm like sitting in my cute little writer's room back there, chomping away at my next novel, like oblivious to bank statements and gas meters and again, the dishwasher. So he is my manager, like in life, but he's also involved in like all creative work too. And we've been like working so closely this last year with all of our creative stuff. And there's no like stranger and cooler feeling than sitting down with like pots of coffee, planning a screenplay together. Because I don't think that we've ever told you this, but what we're dreaming of is to write film and TV scripts together. So we have started dabbling just to see if we kind of find the format fun to work in, and also like if we're doing a good job working together creatively with like text. And so far, oh, come on, it's just so much fun and so romantic. And we even bought those like old school post-its to like create like a storyboard wall with all our ideas. Anyone else ever dreamed of writing a script? Talk to me, give us your best tips and like which program is best to use and all of that. And more importantly, if we made a film, would you watch it? What genre are we thinking here? Do give me all of your inputs because of course you would be our exact preferred audience. Actually, I feel like there's so much we haven't even touched on today, but we're out of time. Like this video feels long enough already. Oh, you guys, I needed that. I feel like I haven't updated you in a while, and it's always so good to hear your opinions and thoughts on everything. It makes us feel like we're not really alone in any of our, you know, day-to-day struggles, because you're always just on the other side of the camera giving us your advice and encouragement. I'm not sure if I thanked you enough for all of your renovation advice, by the way. That was so helpful to us as newbies to get your take on like what we're doing to the place. And I mean, like I've said this before, but this is a nook of the internet that we have carved out together in this little community. It's the best side of internet. It's just so cozy over here, isn't it? When everyone else is like screaming on Twitter, we can have like our soft-hearted, tension-free little thing going on over here. Or what do you guys say? Honestly, sweetheart girlies for presidents. That's what I think. So I think that's it for today. Do talk to me in the comments. How are you feeling? Any burnout, any money struggles, any new fun creative projects that you're working on? Whatever you're going through, I look forward to seeing you down in the comments. Now, do you want to create a beautiful site and maybe start your own blog? If so, you should definitely do it with Squarespace. Listen to this. With Fluid Engine, a next generation website design system, it's never been easier for you to unleash your creativity. So you start with an incredible template and customize everything by simply dragging and dropping. It seriously couldn't be easier. Squarespace is also amazing with blogging tools to share your stories, photos, and videos to make it easy to reach your audience. You can also auto-post your content to Twitter, Facebook, or Tumblr. They also have great traffic analytics so that you can see how many people are visiting your site, how long they're staying for, where they're coming from, and what they're interested in, like interior design or finance or maybe books, for example. So what are you waiting for? Go get your free trial today at squarespace.com. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/JennyMustard to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Lots of love for now, and thank you so much for today. And puss puss!